So guys, in the last lecture, if you remember, we got a relationship between the enthalpy of reaction that is equal to the sum of the enthalpy of formation of the product, right? Please don't write this. We have done this in the previous class. Minus the sum of the enthalpy of formation of reactant. You remember this? Yes or no? Please tell me, Siddika, Mariam, and Martin. You remember this equation? Yeah. Okay. So we did one question. Let me see what question was that. Combustion of 1 mole of benzene gives. Acha, fine. We have done this question. Let us do one more question related to this, and then we are going to do some other things. Okay. Chaliye. Please write the question. Calculate the enthalpy of. Calculate the enthalpy. Yeah, tell me.
1 second, I got the wrong book. I'll just go get my paper book.
Sorry, what?
I took a wrong book. I'll go get my paper book and be back. 1 second, please.
Okay, no problem. I'm just writing the question. I'm not doing anything. Enthalpy of formation. Formation of ethane from following data. From following data. Okay. So first the data that you have is number 1, carbon plus oxygen gives you carbon dioxide. So the enthalpy of this particular reaction, it is equal to minus 393.5 kilojoule per mole. Second data that you have been given is when hydrogen reacts with half of O2, it gives water, and the enthalpy of this reaction, it is equal to minus 286 kilojoule per mole. Thirdly, when you have ethane, C2H6 was formalized as C2H6, it reacts with 7/2 molecules of O2. It gives 2 carbon dioxide plus 3 H2O. And the enthalpy of this reaction, it is equal to minus 1560 kilojoule per mole. Okay, please write this down. Abdullah, you are here after so many days. Where were you, Abdullah? इतना दिन बाद आ रहे हो. Yes, Abdullah, you were. When did you attend the class? Last class? Yes, Abdullah. You were present in the last class. I don't remember. Yeah, on Sunday. What did we do in the last lecture? Tell me, Abdullah. Siddika, are you back? Yes, Siddika, are you back? No, Siddika is not back. Guys, please write this down. Write the question quickly, and then we are going to understand how to solve this type of problems. Siddhika, are you back? Siddhika कहाँ चली गई?
Yes, sir.
You are back. Okay, fine. चलिए. Please raise your hand once you have written the question. All of you guys, Mariam, Abdul Hamid, and Siddhika. Once you're done writing the question, please raise your hand. Martin, also raise your hand if you're done. मार्टिन, आपको तो लिखना चाहिए था, क्या कर रहे थे आप इतनी देर? Abdullah, raise your hand if you're done. Okay, Martin is done. Waiting for Siddhika and Abdullah. जल्दी लिखिए. Let me know once you're done. Okay, Siddhika and Abdullah. Abdullah, you have not told me what did we do in the last lecture. पता नहीं आप आए थे या नहीं आए थे. आप बोल रहे आए थे, लेकिन but I don't see you answering what we did in the last lecture. Okay, Siddhika is also done. ठीक है, चलिए. आप तो रिप्लाई नहीं कर रहे हैं. ठीक है. Guys, please stop writing now. ठीक है. Please stop writing and turn your mic on. Turn your mic on, all of you guys, quickly, and tell me what is the definition of this part, enthalpy of formation, that we did in the last lecture. Turn your mic on and tell me what is enthalpy of formation. We defined this now in the last lecture. What is enthalpy of formation? We did some reaction also. I told you to write the reaction corresponding to the enthalpy of formation of NH3, enthalpy of formation of HBr, HI, something like that. So tell me, enthalpy of formation of what? C2 ethane. First of all, what is ethane? That you should know, because in 10th standard, you must have learned in carbon and its compound. Eth means 2 carbon, right? Ane means it is alkane. Alkane has a general formula CnH2n plus 2, right? You must know this. So H will be how much? H will be 6. 2n is equal to 2 to 4 plus 2, 6. ये आपको आना चाहिए from the 10th standard. Ethane is C2H6. ठीक है? They are asking you the enthalpy of formation of ethane. Enthalpy of formation of ethane. That means you have to form how many moles of ethane, guys? Tell me. Mic on करें, guys. Martin, Abdul, yes, very good, Mariam. Mic on करके रखिए, तभी आपको समझ में आएगा. ठीक है ना? I have to form 1 mole of ethane. So what are the compounds that we have in one? Please don't write, Mariam. अभी लिखिए मत. ठीक है, ध्यान से सुनिए. कौन से एलिमेंट्स है यहाँ पे? कार्बन एंड
ऑक्सीजन.
ऑक्सीजन. हाइड्रोजन है रे भाई. ऑक्सीजन कहाँ से है? हाइड्रोजन है ना? ओके अब्दुल हमीद, आपको समझ में आ रही है बात? अब्दुल हमीद का माइक नहीं काम कर रहा है। सिद्दीक, आपको समझ में आ रही है बात?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है, अब ध्यान से सुनिए। Here we are having C2H6. So C2H6 can be made only with carbon and hydrogen. कार्बन तो कार्बन के फॉर्म में आपको ग्रेफाइट के फॉर्म में मिल जाएगा, कार्बन सॉलिड, है ना? और आपको हाइड्रोजन कैसे मिलेगा? इन द यूनिवर्स यू विल गेट द हाइड्रोजन इन द फॉर्म ऑफ H2. All of you got this? Yes or no? Please tell me.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Now
sir.
can you balance it? I will write 2 carbon. How many hydrogens? Tell me if you want to balance it. कितने हाइड्रोजन हो जाएंगे? जल्दी बताएं, माइक ऑन करके रखें।
3.
3, वेरी गुड, 3। ठीक है, so this is your target reaction. इसको हम लोग क्या बोलेंगे? What we will call this, because they're asking you what? They're asking you the enthalpy of formation of ethane. And enthalpy of formation of ethane is nothing but it is this reaction. This reaction is the enthalpy of formation of ethane. इसको हम लोग बोलेंगे target reaction. क्या बोलेंगे? Target
reaction.
Target reaction. Now we will arrange the given data. What we will do? We will arrange the given data in a such a way that it forms the target reaction. कैसे करना? बहुत ही आसान है, आप एक बात बताइए। We will first of all start with carbon. We will first of all start with carbon. You look at the reaction number 1, reaction number 2, reaction number 3. ठीक है? Do you see carbon in any one of them? 1, 2, 3 में कहीं आपको कार्बन सिर्फ C दिख रहा है?
Yes, sir.
Which reaction?
1
1.
and
ठीक है,
3.
कार्बन आपके पास फर्स्ट रिएक्शन में है। एंड इज इट इन द रिएक्टेंट?
Yes.
ठीक है, तो इन द गिवन डेटा भी रिएक्टेंट में है, सॉरी इन द टारगेट रिएक्शन कार्बन इज इन द रिएक्टेंट, ठीक है?
Yes.
एंड इन द गिवन डेटा कार्बन इज इन द रिएक्टेंट। सो व्हाट आई विल डू, आई विल राइट द रिएक्शन एज इट इज, कार्बन प्लस O2। ध्यान से देखते जाइए, आपको लिखने की कुछ जरूरत नहीं है यहाँ पे, पहले समझिए। गिव्स यू CO2 and I will write the thermochemical data also. So we have delta H naught R will be equal to minus 393.5 kilojoule per mole is the unit. We will remember the unit. We don't worry about the unit. But if you see very properly, I need 2 carbon atoms in the target reaction. Is that right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I will multiply 2 in the whole equation. So if I multiply 2 here, I will get 2 carbon atoms. Why I am multiplying 2 carbon? Because I need 2 carbon from the target reaction. 2 carbon, 2 O2 gives you 2 CO2, and the enthalpy of this reaction will be also multiplied by 2. Is that clear? Yes or no? Please tell me.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. Similarly, tell me, do you see hydrogen in any of the reaction 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 in the given
Yes.
data?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. In which reaction?
2.
Second.
2, second one, right? In the given data and in the target reaction, in both the cases, hydrogen is in reactant. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So we will write the reaction as it is. When we write the reaction as it is, we will get H2 plus half of O2 gives us H2O. And for this, the enthalpy of reaction, it is given as minus 286 kilojoule per mole, whatever it is. ठीक है? Now tell me, did we need only hydrogen or we needed 3 hydrogens? We needed how many hydrogens?
3.
3.
3. तो 3 से multiply कर दें हम.
Yes.
Make sense? So 3 hydrogen reacts with 3 by 2 oxygen, gives you 3 H2O, and this also will be multiplied by 3. Is that clear? Yes or no? Please tell me.
Yes. Sir.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है, अब ध्यान सुनिए. Do we see C2H6 in any of the reaction?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Which one?
3rd.
3rd.
Third one. But what is the problem? We need C2H6 in the reactant or product?
Product.
Product.
We need it in product, है ना, Mariam?
Yes.
And it is given in the
Reaction.
So we will reverse it. पलट देंगे ना? पलट दें. So you will write here 2 CO2 plus 3 H2O gives you C2H6 plus 7 by 2 of O2. Now, a very important thing regarding the enthalpy of this reaction, if we have switched it, तो sign भी क्या हो जाएगा? Switch हो जाएगा. Make sense, all of you? है ना? So this will be now plus 1560 kilojoule per mole. Is that clear? Yes or no? Please tell me.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
ठीक है,
sir.
आप ध्यान से सुनिए. Now we are going to just see there are many things which will be cancelling out. ठीक है, ध्यान से जरा देखिएगा. We have got the reaction. अच्छा, एक और चीज, we needed only 1 mole of C2H6 and we have also 1 mole of C2H6, so we don't need to multiply any number. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है, अब यहाँ पे बस आपने देखना है क्या करना. देखिएगा. See, first of all, if I count H2, see here 3H2O, 3H2O will be cancelled.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है, मरियम. ठीक है, what is 2 plus 3 by 2 O2?
No.
How many? No, what is the value? 3 by 2 I can write as 1.5. 3 by 2 I can write it as 1.5. ठीक है,
Yes.
so we have 1.5 O2 here and 2 O2 here, so total will be how much? 3.5 of O2 in the reactant. ठीक है, and what is this 7 by 2? This is also 3.5 O2. सही है.
Yeah.
ठीक है. Now see here, this
Yes, sir.
whole reactant side O2 will be cancelled by the whole product side O2. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
3.5
Yes,
O2 there, 3.5 O2 here. Okay. ठीक है. Now we have cancelled everything. You have 2 carbon atom plus 2 CO2. 2 CO2 will also be cancelled. No, this 2 CO2 and this 2 CO2 will be cancelled. ठीक है.
Yes,
आपको
sir.
मिलेगा 2 carbon plus 3 hydrogen gives you C2H6, and the enthalpy of this reaction will be equal to the sum. So we'll have 2 multiplied by minus 393.5 plus 3 multiplied by minus 286. We'll have plus 1560. Can you calculate this value and tell me? The value will be in kilojoule per mole. ठीक है, चलिए, ये समझ में आया कैसे करना है? देख लिया आपने? How did we get the chemical reaction? Also the enthalpy of reaction. Makes sense, all of you? Mariam, Siddiqa, Martin,
Yes,
and
sir.
Abdul Hamid.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
It is very much like the first chapter stoichiometry वाला ही है. ठीक है? ध्यान से पढ़ते रहिए, हो जाते जाएगा. Mariam, are you done?
Yes, sir.
Siddhika, Martin, all of you done? Please raise your hand once you're done. Okay. Everyone done? Martin, Abdul Hamid is done. Siddhika, are you done? ठीक है, कितना value आया?
Yes, sir.
What's the value that you get?
Sir, is it minus 85?
Minus 85. How much?
Minus 85.
Minus 80?
5.
Minus 85. I don't know. I mean, I will have to check it. Just a second. Yeah, correct. All of you must get this as minus 85 kilojoule per mole. All of you got it as minus 85 kilojoule per mole. Siddhika, Martin, and Abdul Hamid. ठीक है. चलिए. Right. Next. Enthalpy of different types of reactions. ठीक है. Or we can see also different types of process. So if you saw in this question, the most important thing here was we actually this whole thing was not given to us. ना ये देखिए आप ये तो आपको दिया हुआ नहीं था. Correct. This was not given to you. This was given in the form of a statement. So enthalpy of formation of ethane. From the statement, you have to write a chemical reaction. So we'll look at different enthalpies. We'll also look how to write the reaction for each of the enthalpies. Okay? So this is the most important skill that you have to develop for this particular chapter. That if they are writing enthalpy of formation, what is the reaction? If they are writing enthalpy of combustion, what is the reaction? If they are writing enthalpy of atomization, what is the reaction? Okay? So from the enthalpy, each and every enthalpy will be accompanied by a definition which will guide you for the writing of reaction. Okay? So you will write next enthalpies of different types of reaction. Different types of reaction. Okay? Now, please see number 1 is standard enthalpy of combustion. This will be generally written as delta H naught C. That denotes combustion. So please write enthalpy change we can say accompanied with the combustion of the combustion of 1 mole of any substance. 1 mole of any substance. Okay? 1 mole of any substance. Okay? So if you remember the enthalpy of formation, there in the enthalpy of formation, the criteria was the formation of 1 mole. तो आपको वहां पे प्रोडक्ट में 1 mole of C2H जैसा हमने लिखा, ये लिखना जरूरी था. You would have to write 1 mole of this, right? Similarly, in this particular case, enthalpy of accompanied with the combustion of 1 mole of any substance, I will have to start with 1 mole of the substance. For example, if I'm talking about enthalpy of combustion, enthalpy, rather I should just write the sign delta H naught C of CH4. So I have to write the combustion reaction of 1 mole of CH4. I will write CH4 plus O2 plus O2, right? Combustion is a reaction with O2. Carbon will form carbon dioxide. Hydrogen will form water, H2O. Now balance this reaction, please balance this reaction. Tell me, guys. Yes, Martin. Did you balance it?
Yes, sir.
Time. What's the answer, Martin? After balancing?
4CH4.
4CH4 and
Then 4CO2.
4CO2 and how many O2? Hey, keep your mic on here, Martin.
And then
Sorry?
4O2.
4O2. How many H2O?
And then 4H2O.
4H2O. Achha. How many oxygens here? Tell me. Total. How many oxygen atoms?
8.
How many here?
8.
And how many here?
4.
So in the product we have 12 oxygen. Reactant we have only 8. सीरियस हो जाइए आप मार्टन. ठीक है, थोड़ा सीरियस हो जाइए. Yes, Mariam, Siddiqa, Abdul Hamid, anyone got the answer? What is the balanced equation? Yes, Mariam, Siddiqa, Abdul Hamid. No. अरे हाँ ना, कुछ तो बोलो यार तुम लोग. You got it or you did not get it? Yes, Mariam.
Sir, is it 4O2
4O2.
and 3CO2?
How it will be 3CO2 यार? क्या आप लोगों को बैलेंस करना नहीं आता क्या केमिकल इक्वेशंस? Tell me your approach, Siddiqa. आपने आंसर किया ना? Tell me your approach. What do you see first of all? जी बताएं.
Sir, first there are 4 hydrogen on the reactant and 2 on the product. So there's 2 on H2O.
2H2O. Then?
And then it forms 2 oxygen on and 4 oxygen on the product. So 4 on O2.
4 on O2. 4. So it will be now 8 ना भाई. तो यहाँ पे आपको सिर्फ 2 मल्टीप्लाई करना था. It is 4 O2 now. 4 oxygen atoms. Guys, this is really bad यार. 10th क्लास में तो है एक चैप्टर पूरा केमिकल रिएक्शंस एंड इक्वेशन बैलेंसिंग ही तो सिखाया जाता है उसमें. और क्या सिखाया जाता है? ये तो गलत बात है. फिर तो नहीं आएगा ये चैप्टर. ये ध्यान रखिए आप लोग. बैलेंस, इफ यू डोंट नो हाउ टू बैलेंस अ केमिकल रिएक्शन, इट विल बी बहुत डिफिकल्ट. पहले वो सीखो जाके 10th क्लास में. यू हैव मेनी रिएक्शंस, बैलेंस करना सीखिए उसको पहले. ये आई विल पुट दिस अप इन द असेसमेंट. until unless a person knows how to balance, उनको 11th क्लास में एडमिशन नहीं लेने के लिए. ये तो आना ही चाहिए आप लोगों को। ठीक है, इट्स बैलेंस्ड नाउ ना। क्या मरियम आपसे भी नहीं हुआ ना कुछ भी? हाँ मरियम, कुछ नहीं हुआ?
I got stuck.
चलिए भाई, चलिए अगला कीजिए। देखिए एक चीज ध्यान रखना बस आप लोगों को गाइस, प्लीज सी हियर गाइस, दिस इज 1 मोल। Here you cannot change the number of moles of CH4 because according to the definition, enthalpy change accompanied with the combustion of 1 mole of any substance. So if you are talking about Siddhika class में attentive रहिए please.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. So if I'm talking about enthalpy of combustion of methane CH4, then it will be 1 mole of methane. You cannot change this to 2 mole of methane. ठीक है, ये आपको ध्यान रखना है. Now try this next one. अब ज्यादा टाइम नहीं देंगे, हमको लगा था आप लोग कर रहे हैं बैलेंसिंग. Enthalpy of combustion of, let us suppose you have C4H10. Write the balanced chemical reaction. You guys have 3 minutes. अरे 5 मिनट लो आप लोग, चलो हटाओ. देख 5 मिनट क्या भाई, 5 मिनट से क्या फायदा, कर पाएंगे तो 3 ही मिनट लीजिए आप लोग. टेक 3 मिनट्स. अब्दुल हमीद आपसे भी नहीं हुआ था बैलेंसिंग? यस अब्दुल हमीद. ये गलत बात है बिल्कुल. बैलेंसिंग आप लोग को आना चाहिए. यूर इन 11th स्टैंडर्ड 10th स्टैंडर्ड में बैलेंसिंग ही सिखाई जाती है ना. वंस यू हैव बीन गिवन द रिएक्शन, यू शुड नो व्हाट इज बैलेंसिंग. चलिए, टाइम इज ऑलमोस्ट ओवर गाइस. टेल मी, क्या आंसर है आप लोगों का? मरियम, गाइस प्लीज सेंड योर आंसर्स क्विकली ना on my WhatsApp. Please send your answers quickly. Mariam, Abdul Hamid, Martin, and Siddiqa. Whatever you have done, please stop writing. Send me whatever you have done. Mariam, Please stop writing. Send me whatever you have done. Yes, Mariam, did you send the answer? Abdul Hamid, did you send the answer? Martin, send whatever you have done till now. ठीक है, कुछ तो ठीक है। चलिए कुछ तो ठीक है ना? एटलीस्ट यू हैव रिटन द प्रोडक्ट साइड की कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड और वाटर बनेगा। वेटिंग फॉर अब्दुल हमीद, मार्टिन एंड सिद्दीका। Abdul Hamid, Martin, and Siddiqa, please send it quickly. Siddiqa has sent 4 and 5. ठीक है, यहाँ तक तो ठीक है आपका। वेरी गुड सिद्दीका, यहाँ तक ठीक है। कम से कम होगा क्या? 14 4 14 क्या है ये? 4 14, अच्छा 4 1 है ये। ठीक है, ये हाइड्रोजन 10 अगर 2, ठीक है, इंटू 5 करके, ठीक है। चलिए कुछ तो सही किया आपने ना। प्लीज सी हियर गाइस, you have C4H10, sorry, my bad, plus O2 gives you CO2 plus H2O. CO2 plus H2O. And this you can easily see we have 4 carbon atoms. I will start with 4 CO2. I have 10 hydrogens. I will multiply 5 here. So I will get 5 to the 10 hydrogen. Okay, I will get 5 to the 10 hydrogen. Now the only thing that matters is oxygen. So how many oxygen atoms do we have here? Here we are having 4 to the 8, and here we are having 5. So in total, how many oxygen atoms do we have? Now, how many oxygen atoms do we have here? How many? 13. Here we have 8 plus 5 equals 13, right? So for O2, I cannot write here anything. ना यहाँ पे आप कुछ भी change नहीं कर सकते. It is only one more. So write here 13 by 2 of O2. बात समझ में आई सबको? हाँ या ना, जल्दी बताएं। All of you understood why it is 13 by 2?
Yes, sir.
Mariam, Abdul Hamid, Martin, did you understand why it is 13 by 2? Yes or no? Please tell me quickly.
No, can you repeat it, sir?
See, so here, can you see that in product, can you count how many oxygens do we have? Martin,
3.
how many oxygens do we have? No, yeah, how 3? We have 4
sorry,
carbon dioxide,
no.
5. सही से
I
count
see the
कीजिए ना।
5.
See properly and tell me.
7.
नहीं, फिर से see properly. How many carbon dioxide do we have?
4 carbon dioxide. 4 carbon dioxide.
4 carbon dioxide. So how many oxygen atoms total?
13.
13, na? And how many oxygen atoms here? Only 2.
Yeah.
So if you multiply 13 by 2, you will get 13, na? 13 by 2 into 2 will be equal to 13. So 13 oxygen atoms in the reactant also. Got it?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है, अब ध्यान सुनिए यहाँ पे. So we cannot change anything here in this particular part of C4H10. We cannot change anything here because it is going to be always one mole. This is how you are going to write for the enthalpy of combustion. ठीक है, चलिए write next. Standard enthalpy of atomization. Standard enthalpy of atomization is written as delta H naught A. Please write the definition. Please write enthalpy change accompanied with the enthalpy change accompanied with conversion of 1 mole of a substance into its individual elements in gaseous state. In gaseous state. Okay. So for example, if I talk about H2, so H2 is already gas, but it is not in the form of its elements, right? So H2 के element की अगर हम बात करें, so it is made up of it 2 hydrogen atoms in the gaseous form. If I talk about CH4, so we'll take 1 mole of CH4 and you will convert it to carbon. This will be also in the gaseous form, and 4 hydrogen. This will be also in the gaseous form. Okay. Similarly, if you have something like this, sodium solid. So sodium, it is a metal. Metal को आप लोग का क्या करना है? You have to melt it to gas and vaporize it to gas, sodium gas. So this is the different. If you have H2, then 2H2, CH4 है तो C gas and then 4 hydrogen. So into its individual atoms in the gaseous form. Okay. Please write this down. All of you understand now how to write. This is easy reaction. I think I don't think you have to do anything. You just need to write these, look up the elements, what are the elements and how many are present. So example, if you have something like this, let us suppose you have Cl2. So no matter if this is gas, then you will convert it into 2 chlorine atoms, which is in gaseous form. So you please write this down quickly. Raise your hand once you're done. Raise your hand once you're done. Quickly raise your hand once you're done. Martin, Abdul Hamid, and Siddiqa. Martin, just waiting for you.
Yeah, done.
Okay, just a second. Right, next, bond enthalpy. Bond enthalpy, okay. So please write what is bond enthalpy. Write the energy required To break, please write this with me. To break 1 mole, the energy required to break 1 mole of a particular bond is called bond enthalpy. Write this down quickly.
Done, sir.
Done? ठीक. Now, bond enthalpy, it can be divided into 2 different parts. Please see this. This is very important. Bond enthalpy. ठीक है, ध्यान दीजिए. If I talk about the bond enthalpy for diatomic molecules such as H2, Cl2, Br2, these are diatoms when you have 2 atoms. If I talk about diatomic molecule, then it is just the bond dissociation energy. अगर आपको थोड़ा याद हो, bond dissociation energy or bond energy, we have learned this in the chemical bonding chapter. We have at least learned this term, bond dissociation energy. Okay. So for example, if I talk about H2, then what we need to do, you need to convert it into 2 hydrogen. I mean, you have to break all the bonds in the gaseous form, and this will be the delta H of delta H naught of the hydrogen bond HH. Okay. Similarly, if I talk about Br2, so you will take 1 mole of Br2 and you will break it into 2 Br atoms in gaseous form, and it will be delta H naught Br bonded with Br. Okay, so this is simple as what bond dissociation energy. But if I talk about the polyatomic molecules such as CH4, water, all of these are polyatomic in which we have more than 2 elements. Then in that case, the definition of bond enthalpy is a bit different. So please write for polyatomic molecules. This is for polyatomic. Okay, for polyatomic molecule, it is known as the average bond enthalpy. हम क्या यूज करेंगे? Average bond dissociation energy और bond enthalpy. ठीक है. चलिए अगर हम बात करें CH4 की, ठीक है, I have CH4. If you break all the bonds of CH4, you will get a carbon atom and 4 hydrogen atom. ठीक है, you will get the 4 hydrogen atom. और इसका कुछ delta E naught आपके पास R होगा. If you take 1 mole of CH4, ठीक है. But if you look here, how many bond is there? How many CH bond is there? In CH4, how many CH bond is there? How many?
4.
4, right? So, and by the definition, I have to break what? I have to break 1 mole of a particular bond. So please see here, if I take 1 mole of CH4, if I take only 1 mole of CH4, I am actually breaking 4 moles of bond, है ना? Right? So that is why what I will do, whatever this enthalpy of this reaction is, na, CH4 to CH, if I talk about delta H naught of CH will be equal to the enthalpy of this reaction, delta H naught divided by 4. Because here in this reaction, we are breaking 4 moles. We are breaking 4 moles of bond. And I need, by the definition, bond enthalpy is the breaking of 1 mole of bond. So I will divide it by 4. Make sense, everyone? Yes or no? Please tell me. ठीक है, चलिए write this down. Raise your hand once you're done. Mariam Siddiqa done. Let me know once you're done. ठीक है, अगर सिमिलरली आप देखिए SF6 के लिए, सो you'll have sulfur and 6 fluorine. Let us suppose this is the delta H naught R, है ना? So what will be the delta H naught of SF bond? Tell me guys. Delta H naught. So how many bonds will be there? वो आपको पता रहना चाहिए because we have done already the chemical bonding chapter, है ना? बताइए. It will be delta H naught divided by
6.
very good 6. Huh? Martin, you are done. I can't hear you. Martin, you are done. You're writing. अच्छा, right. आप see if you are not done, keep your hand lowered, है ना? Once you're done, you will raise the hand. Dika waiting for you.
Done, sir.
Fine. Now, next thing is very important. See you guys. That is the relationship between enthalpy of reaction and the bond dissociation energy. ध्यान से देखिएगा. It's again very important relationship. ठीक है, please write a relationship between delta H naught R and delta H naught bond. ठीक है, so between the bond energy and the enthalpy of reaction. Please see here, Martin. What are you doing, Martin?
Yes, sir.
Yes sir क्या yes sir सिर्फ yes sir बोलने से चलेगा क्या? आप क्या कर रहे हैं आप? स्क्रीन पे देखिए ना. See here. ठीक है, relationship between enthalpy of reaction and the bond enthalpy. ठीक है, आप हमको कभी गेस्ट बुलाइए तो फिर हम जल्दी क्लास एंड करेंगे. सिद्दीका, आपके घर आ रहे हैं मेहमान, उसकी वजह से हम कर दे क्लास जल्दी खत्म. हाँ सिद्दीका.
Sir, I don't want to miss any topic.
यू डोंट वांट टू. आप हम वो वही कह रहे हैं ना, आप हमको बुलाइए कभी दावत में, तब हम जल्दी क्लास खत्म करके पहुंच जाएंगे आपके यहाँ. हमें तो आपने कहीं बुलाया नहीं, आपको बस चाहिए क्लास जल्दी खत्म कर दीजिए सर. हाँ, कब आ रहे हैं गेस्ट बताइए.
Sir, in 20 minutes.
हाँ तो 20 मिनट्स में तो क्लास खत्म ही हो जाएगी ना, है ना सिद्दीका? चाहिए थोड़ा हम जल्दी कर
Yes.
देंगे. है ना, चलो आई विल ट्राई. ठीक है गाइस, प्लीज सी हियर. वी हैव A2 एंड लेट अस सपोज कि ये कन्वर्ट हो रहा है B2 में. ठीक है, इट इज गेटिंग कन्वर्टेड इनटू B2. बात समझ में आ रही सबको? हाँ या ना, जल्दी बताएं. ठीक है, अब ध्यान से देखिए यहाँ पे. In A2 we will have AA bond. In B2 we will have BB bond. बात समझ में आई? ठीक है. If we are A2 से B2, so obviously A is getting destroyed. ठीक. In order to break A, ध्यान से सुनिएगा. In order to break A, I have to give enthalpy of AA. I have to put this much energy. Yes or no? Please tell me, guys. Correct, na? The enthalpy of breaking 1 mole of AA bond. And what is happening with B2? B2 is getting formed. B2 form हो रहा है. That is the opposite of destroy. Opposite of destruction. And if we were destroying B, we would have been giving this much energy to destroy B. Correct है ना? If we want to destroy B, that means क्या करना है आपको? बस ये bond हटा दीजिए. B खत्म हो गया. B2 is not remaining now, ना? B2 is gone because we have broken the bond. But what we are doing forming. So this is for destruction. Opposite of destruction we are doing. So it will be in negative. बात समझ में आई सबको आया ना? And if I talk about the enthalpy of reaction, what is happening in reaction? A is getting destroyed and B is getting formed. So I can say that enthalpy of this particular reaction, delta H naught R, will be equal to the amount of energy. Please listen very good. The amount of energy required to break A, that is equal to delta H naught AA, and plus the enthalpy of reaction, or the amount of energy required to form the B2, which is equal to minus delta H naught BB. This is the amount of energy required to form BB. अब इसी को अगर आप ध्यान से देख ले तो यहाँ पे क्या होगा? डेल्टा H naught AA minus delta H naught BB. If I want to generalize this for each and every reaction, then each and every reaction we go from reactant to product. And in the case of reactant to product, I can write delta H naught R will be equal to the sum of the delta H naught bond of reactant minus the sum of delta H naught bond of product. All of you understood this? Yes or no? Please tell me. Mariam, Siddiqa, Martin. ठीक है, चलिए ध्यान से इसको लिखना है, जितना लिखना आपको लिखिए. See, I don't want to teach the reaction आपको ऐसे ही सीधा सीधा पढ़ा देंगे लोग, लेकिन please understand कि logically इसका एक basis है ना. Why it is minus here? Reactant minus product. We have reactant minus product here. Please write this down quickly. Let me know once you're done. Hamid got disconnected, I think. Abdul Hamid, you are here. Okay, fine. Abdul Hamid, आपको समझ में आया? Relationship between enthalpy of reaction and enthalpy of then the bond dissociation energy, या bond enthalpy. ठीक. William is done. Waiting for Martin, Siddiqa, and Abdul Hamid. Please write this quickly. Let me know once you're done by raising your hand. मार्टिन अब्दुल हमीद जल्दी लिखिए यार आप लोग. Should not take this much time in writing, guys. Speed बढ़ाइए आप लोग प्लीज लिखने का. Okay, both of you are done. ना लिख रहे थे तब से. चलिए. Right, next. Please lower your hand. Please lower your hand. Or if you guys please lower your hand. Right, next. Enthalpies of physical transformation. Enthalpies of physical transformation. Physical transformation, meaning, for example, if I go from 1 mole of solid to 1 mole of liquid, this is delta H naught of fusion, or you will see it as delta H naught of FUS. Okay, this is enthalpy of fusion. And if I go from, let us suppose, 1 mole of liquid to gas particles, then it is enthalpy of vaporization. Thirdly, if I go from 1 mole of solid to gas, then this is delta H naught of sublimation. Fourth is, please see, enthalpy of hydration. Enthalpy of hydration. What is this? It is, please write, enthalpy change delta H naught when 1 mole of gaseous ion is hydrated by water. Okay, so when we are going to put any ion inside water, there will be some hydration. That is the enthalpy of hydration. इसी में एक सिमिलर चीज है जिसको बोलते हैं enthalpy of, fifth is enthalpy of dilution. Enthalpy of dilution, it is the delta H naught when any specific amount of solute is added to a specific amount of solvent. Okay, so this is the enthalpy of dilution. So please write this down. We are going to do some numericals in the next class, and hopefully tomorrow may be your last class. Tomorrow may be your last class. जिसके बाद शायद एक कल के क्लास में थ्योरी करा के फिर we would have to do something related to some numericals maybe. Will you please write this down? Raise your hand once you're done.